State University, and our signal is carried by WUNC Chapel Hill. Today is Monday, April 9th, 2018, and your radio host is Robert Bean. I will be reading the news from the Monday Fayetteville Observer. Your weather. Today will be cloudy. There will be a shower or two. It will be cool with a high of 52. Tonight there will be an early shower. Otherwise it will be cloudy with a low of 44. Tomorrow will be times of clouds and sun. The high will be 64, the low 43. Wednesday there will be partial sunshine. The high will be 65, the low 47. Thursday will be partly sunny, pleasant and warmer. The high will be 76, the low 55. Friday will be mostly sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 60. Saturday will be partly sunny and breezy in the evening. The high will be 84, the low 61. And on Sunday, there will be strong thunderstorms, not as warm. The high will be 78 and the low 47. Sunrise today was at 6:52 a.m. Sunset tonight will be at 7:43 p.m. Moonrise today was at 3:51 a.m. Moonset today will be at 2:35 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:50 a.m. and sunset tomorrow will be at 7:44 p.m. New moon is April 15th, first moon April 22nd, full moon April 29th, and last moon May 7th. Today in history. Today is Monday, April 9th, the 99th day of 2018. There are 266 days left in the year. Today's highlight: on April 9th, 1968, funeral services, private and public, were held for Martin Luther King Jr. at the Ebenezer Baptist Church and Morehouse College in Atlanta, 5 days after the civil rights leader was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. In 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered his army to Union Lieutenant General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia. In 1913, the first game was played at Ebbets Field, the newly built home of the Brooklyn Dodgers, who lost to the Philadelphia Phillies 1-0. In 1939, singer Marian Anderson performed a concert at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., after being denied the use of Constitution Hall by the Daughters of the American Revolution. In 1942, during World War II, some 75,000 Philippine and American defenders on Bataan surrendered to Japanese troops who forced the prisoners into what became known as the Bataan Death March. Thousands died or were killed en route. In 1959, NASA presented its first 7 astronauts: Scott Carpenter, Gordon Cooper, John Glenn, Gus Grissom, Wally Schirra, Alan Shepard, and Donald Slayton. Architect Frank Lloyd Wright, 91, died in Phoenix, Arizona. In 2003, jubilant Iraqis celebrated the collapse of Saddam Hussein's regime, beheading a toppled statue of their longtime ruler in downtown Baghdad and embracing American troops as liberators. Birthdays today. One of our listeners, James DeGruel, has a birthday today, so happy birthday to James. And satirical songwriter and mathematician Tom Lear is 90. Naturalist Jim Fowler is 88. Actor Jean-Paul Belmondo is 85. Actress Michael Learned is 79. Country singer Margo Smith is 76. Country singer Hal Ketchum is 65. Actor Dennis Quaid is 64. Actress sports reporter Lisa Guerrero is 54. Actor Mark Pellegrino is 53. Actress model Paulina Porskova is 53. Actress Cynthia Nixon is 52. TV personality Sunny Anderson is 43. Actress Keisha Knight Pulliam is 39. Actress Leighton Meester is 32. Actress Kristen Stewart is 28. Actress Ellie Fanning is 20. Daybreak, Need to Know. Science Night. The Department of Chemistry and Physics at Fayetteville State University is hosting its second Community Science Night on Tuesday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Seabrook Auditorium. Area students and their families will have the opportunity to see demonstrations Learn about science and have fun in the process. There will be demonstrations of chemistry and physics presented by FSU faculty during this free event. Writing discussion. Fayetteville Police Chief Gina Hawkins is among the panelists who will talk about the importance of writing during a discussion Thursday at Methodist University. The discussion From Classroom to Career, a community panel discussion, will be from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the university's PA auditorium. The event is open to the public. There will be a question and answer session at the end of the discussion. Documentary screening. The Airborne and Special Operations Museum Foundation, in conjunction with UNC-TV, will show a special documentary, GI Jews, Jewish Americans in World War II, in the museum's theater at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. The show is free and open to the public, but attendance is limited to 250. The documentary tells the story of the 550,000 Jewish men and women who served in World War II. For more information, call the museum at 643-2774 or 643-2778. Fayetteville Beautiful. The Fayetteville Beautiful annual citywide cleanup is scheduled for April 21st. Residents who want to participate should meet at Cross Creek Park on Green Street from 8:30 to 9 a.m. And volunteers may sign up at FayettevilleBeautiful.com, click on the citywide cleanup map, and select the area they want to clean up. We want to hear from you. Please submit your events in writing at least 10 days in advance. Email calendar at FAYobserver.com or fax details to 486-3545. Or for questions, you can call 486-3500.
Dear donor sponsor, we are a partner agency of United Way. We're asking your help with our 8th annual golf tournament that has been rescheduled for April 12th with either a whole sponsorship for $100 or team participation. In an effort to support our mission and continued financial success, we will be hosting our 8th annual golf tournament on Saturday, April 12th, 2018 at Gates 4 Golf and Country Club. Starting at 11 a.m., tee-off will be at 12 p.m. With your support of $100, your sponsorship will include additional advertisement and hole signage. A corporate sponsorship of $300 will include all of the above, and 4 players will be eligible to play for free. Any donation is tax deductible. We are a charitable organization with federal tax exempt status 501c3 FTID number 58-1746684. If you have any further questions, please contact Valerie Woodard at 910-672-2013 or 797-2944. That's her cell. Please spread the word to others. We need your help. Thank you for your support of our listeners and volunteers. Sincerely, Valerie Woodard, Executive Director. High pollen count keeping North Carolina allergists busy. Pollen season has thrust itself upon North Carolina, forcing residents to retreat inside and constantly wash down cars. Cumberland County in central North Carolina rank among the worst in the country as far as high pollen counts, according to reports. And the stubborn tree pollen is expected to last through June. "I've never had it like this before," said Danielle Salt, who was picking up allergy medicine from Quick Med Pharmacy on Saturday. "Everybody's got it this year." She thought she had strep throat because, as a native of the area, she is acclimated to the seasonal changes. But the pollen hit her hard this year. Itchy eyes, congestion, coughing. Her boss urged her to see a doctor. Tree pollen is one of the biggest irritants affecting people, according to North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. On Sunday, the state reported trees produced a pollen count of 327.9 grains of pollen per cubic meter from pine, oak, birch, sweet gum, and maple trees. That comes with a high rating from the department. Pollen from grass and weeds was rated as low, according to the state. Pollen seasons in North Carolina are broken into 3 seasons. Tree pollen runs from March to June. Grass pollen is from May to August, and weed pollen is from August to about September. Dry, windy days increase pollen, while rainy days temporarily decrease pollen. Adrian Young, a pharmacy technician at Quick Med, said there hasn't been a huge influx of people in for allergy issues, but the pharmacy stays prepared. Most people come in complaining about being stuffed up and with congestion. "We keep everything in stock," she said. People have been steadily streaming into allergy partners of Fayetteville for relief, said Colin Freshia, a 6-year allergist with the practice. This year was different than last year because the irregular climate caused illnesses which clashed with allergies, he said. "We had a lot of warm and cold temperatures as the spring season started," he said. "People had viral illness, that is the flu, bad allergies, and both at the same time." Francia said Fayetteville has reached the peak of pollen season, which has been a surprise challenge for some of the city's transient population. "Soldiers from other parts of the country have been making appointments," he said. "Active duty military, if they haven't been stationed here, this may be very new for them," he said. "I think the southeast region is a tough place for pollen. The sort of visible pollen that we see now is not always visible in other regions of the country. So what can you do to protect yourself?" Francia said several small things can have a huge impact. He suggests leaving windows and doors closed to keep out the pollen, as well as rub down pests that have been outside. Francia also suggests to change air filters and run air conditioning units. Staff writer Amanda Dolasinski can be reached at adolasinski@fayobserver.com or 486-3528.
Inside politics, voters can register with Green Party. For the first time in state history, North Carolina residents can register for the Green Party. A news release said the bipartisan State Board of Elections and Ethics Enforcement has released a newly designed voter registration application form, including the Green Party. The new application is available on the State Election Board's website at https:// www.ncec.gov. dbcgov/portals/portals/o/forums/NC voter reg form 06w.pdf. The news release also said hard copies of the form will soon be distributed to county boards of elections and other groups that provide voter registration services. That change came because the state board recently recognized the Green Party as an official political party in the state. The news release said that voters can register for the Democratic, Green, Libertarian, or Republican parties or register as unaffiliated. The release said that the Green Party does not have a traditional primary election in 2018 and chooses nominees by convention. People who plan to vote in the May 8th primary election and who aren't registered to vote or who need to change their registration must do so no later than Friday. Same-day registration is still permitted for people who participate in early voting, which starts April 19th and runs through 1 p.m. on May 5th. Registration in advance is required for those who want to vote on the May 8th primary date. Meetings. The Democratic Women of Cumberland County's monthly meeting is Thursday at Elizabeth's Pizza on Hoot Mills Road. Food service begins at 5:30 p.m. with the meeting beginning at 6:30 p.m. The speakers will be Democratic candidates running in the May primary. DWCC members will be able to ask questions of the candidates. Members are reminded that the DWCC's current social project is a collection of children's books for distribution to a local school. Members should bring their donations to the meeting. Cumberland County Republican Women's Club will hold a candidates forum on Monday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Morgan's Chop House on 201 South McPherson Church Road. Candidates will range from congressional to judicial and state to local. The forum will be moderated by former Fayetteville Mayor Nat Robertson. Tickets are limited at the door for $30, which includes dinner. The group will raffle gift certificates from Jim's Pawn Shop and Rudy's Pawn Shop. The Cumberland County Senior Democrats will meet Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the College Lakes Recreation Center on 4945 Rose Hill Road. All Democrats are welcome. Refreshments will be served. For more information, call 987-7420 or 497-7574. Inside Politics is published on Mondays. To submit items for publication, email them to insidepolitics@fayobserver.com. The deadline is Thursday.
Vaccine clinic success. From behind the wheel, 73-year-old Donald Duck Rainer pulled in, the gravel crushing under the tires of his weathered black Chevrolet pickup. He parked next to the Nissan SUV, where a veterinarian and staff members of the Cumberland County Environmental Health Program were congregated. In the back of the truck, Ace was barking, and Red seemed to be in good spirits, considering the look of pure bliss radiating from his sweet face. The dogs needed their rabies shot. On this last Tuesday in March, Raina was taking advantage of the roadside rabies vaccination clinic that was held in this northern Cumberland County town between Martin Edwards Auction Services and Circle D Mobile Home Ranch. Rabies vaccination clinic 4 to 6 Tuesday, read a small sign posted by US 401. After finishing the paperwork, Rainer returned to his truck to assist Kim Privet, a vet with North Star Veterinary Hospital in Parkton. "I want you to pick him up now and hold him," she told him. Privet had Rainer pulled Ace, a 3-year-old male poodle, toward his shoulder. Securing the pet with both hands, she then vaccinated the dog, dipping the syringe into the nape of his neck. "Keep him in there," she then said, motioning towards the cab. Ace started yapping again and trying to get out. "You're going to be hard-headed, boy," his owner said. After that, Red, Raina's 12-year-old male golden retriever got the needle. He's on his way out, Raina offered as an aside on his older dog. He's got congestive heart failure. From his pocket, he pulled out 2 rabies vaccination tags he had just received for their collars. I just like dogs, said Raina. I like animals. I've got horses too. Twice a week from March 27th through April 19th, Cumberland County Animal Control and Cumberland County Public Health Department have scheduled 16 rabies vaccination clinics throughout the county. The cost is $10 per dog or cat. I think we did like 1,200 animals during the last round of clinics, said Tom Turturro, a program specialist with the county's environmental health program. Whenever there's news about a rabbit, raccoon, or something, then they all come out of the woodwork. Based on state law, the owner of every dog and cat over 4 months of age shall have the animal vaccinated against rabies. Those owners in Cumberland County who have not had their dogs or cats vaccinated in accordance to state law are subject to a civil penalty of $100. A dog or cat must receive 2 rabies vaccinations 1 year apart, then 1 vaccination every 3 years, according to materials to promote the clinics. A lot of people who do come here, Turturro said, the only thing the animal ever sees is a rabies shot, so at least they're getting that. That's a good thing. There wasn't a line of people waiting to get their pets vaccinated, not like he reported from other locations, but vehicles pulled in from time to time with animals in tow. This is the first time I've done it here, Chuck Nowinski of Linden said. I figured I'd save a few dollars here rather than getting it at the vet. Nowinski, a retired Goodyear Tire Rubber Company employee who still does a little plumbing work, made 2 stops. He first brought Max, a 6-year-old male Yorkshire. On his second trip, Nowinski, a 6-year-old English setter, Wilson, was on board. Wilson was skittish, his body shaking as he stood on the ground after getting his shot. We do have wild animals, more rabbits than anything else, Nowinski said, but I've seen some coyotes around. It appeared that Raina wasn't going to be leaving anytime soon with Red and Ace. Inside the cab, an upright Ace had smeared his paws on the roll-up window on the driver's side of the truck. I tell you what he done, Raina blurted out to anyone willing to listen. He locked the door. Everybody laughed, even Raina. But as quickly as Ace accidentally locked the door, the frisky little mutt unlocked it with cricket kindly encouragement. Did she and Turturro consider the clinic a success? It's successful, she said, because we're out vaccinating the dogs. Staff writer Michael Futch can be reached at mfutch@fayobserver.com or 486-3529.
Supreme Court overturns sex conviction by Paul Wolverton, staff writer. The North Carolina Supreme Court on Friday overturned the conviction of a Bladen County man who was accused of having sex with a preteen girl for 3 years. The man, 47-year-old John Owen Jacobs, asserted he is innocent. He is serving 35 to 47 years in prison on a charge of first-degree sex offense with a child. The Supreme Court ruled that Superior Court Judge Reuben Young was wrong at the trial in 2015 to block evidence that the girl had 2 sexually transmitted diseases, while Jacobs had neither one of them. The sexual activity allegedly began in 2011 when the girl was 8 or 9 years old, the ruling says, and she reported it in 2013. The girl testified at the trial in 2015 that Jacobs had sex with her approximately twice per week for about 3 years, the ruling says. When the girl reported the allegation in 2013, she was tested for sexually transmitted diseases and found to have herpes and trichomonas. Jacobs was arrested, and 3 days later he was tested. He did not have those diseases. Jacobs' lawyer wanted to tell the jury about the girl's STDs and have an expert testify. The expert would have said it would be unlikely for Jacobs to be free of those diseases if he had been having sexual relations with her for as long as she said and as frequently as she described. Further, it was unlikely for her to get the diseases outside of sexual activity, the expert would have said. Young blocked the evidence under North Carolina's rape shield law. The rape shield law prevents defendants from presenting evidence regarding the sexual activity of the victim. It's designed to ensure that an allegation of sexual assault is treated on its own merits and to prevent the defense from discrediting or embarrassing the victim based on sexual activity unrelated to the assault. But there are exceptions to the rape shield law. In this case, the Supreme Court said Young should have allowed evidence and testimony about the diseases because it was being offered specifically to show that the defendant did not commit the crime in which he was accused. The jury had seen the disease evidence, the court said it might have reached a different verdict. The ruling was 6-1 with Associate Justice Mike Morgan dissenting. Morgan said that the presentation of the disease evidence would have conveyed that the girl had engaged in other sexual behavior, and the rape shield law is supposed to keep that kind of evidence away from the jury. Fayetteville lawyer Paul Herzig represented Jacobs at the Supreme Court. Staff writer Paul Wolverton can be reached by emailing pwolverton at FAYobserver.com or by calling 486-3512.
Rayford man found shot early Sunday morning. A man who was shot near the intersection of Cliffdale Road and Raleigh Road early Sunday has died, police said. Karen Howard, 18, over 200 block of Tennessee Walker Road in Rayford, was found sitting in a vehicle in a roadway at the intersection at about 12:18 a.m. He was taken to Cape Fear Valley Medical Center in a critical condition and died later Sunday, police said. Detectives with the Fayetteville Police Department's aggravated assault unit are investigating the shooting as a homicide. Detectives said the shooting does not appear to be random. Anyone with information is asked to contact Detective T. Auburns with the Fayetteville Police Department at 703-1166 or Crime Stoppers at 486-8477. Crime Stoppers is offering a cash reward of up to $1,000 for information leading to an arrest. Crime Stoppers information can be submitted electronically by visiting http://fay-nc-crimestoppers.org and completing the anonymous tip sheet or by downloading the P3 Tips app.
Talking to strangers used to terrify me. Then I took up a challenge by Nadia Bacoldi, The Washington Post. The elevator doors are shutting, closing us off from the sun-drenched building foyer. A hand thrusts through, sending the doors back open, and a breathless FedEx guy dashes in. There's a collective eye roll as he wriggles in beside me, nervously mumbling, "Sorry, everyone." "So you should be," I joke. FedEx guy looks surprised, but then registers my smirk and chuckles along. "I'll try better next time," he play-acts back. And there's a small giggle from the rest of the elevator. I feel like taking a bow. You see, I used to have a serious people problem. The mere thought of making a humorous quip in a tense public setting like this quite frankly terrified me, at least until I took up a challenge about a year ago. I started watching the YouTube challenge of dating coach Matthew Hussey. A few videos in, I was hooked and signed up for Hussey's online program that proposed an experiment: engage with more people each day. The premise was that it would build confidence and ultimately maybe even attract my perfect partner. His theory was not just fluff talk, it was backed by science. A 2014 study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that talking to strangers can significantly boost your mood. Another study, published in the journal Personality and Individual Differences, showed friendly people are generally rated as more physically attractive. I decided to give it a try. I started at my office, where I'm an editor for a lifestyle website for women. I realized, rather embarrassingly, I knew the names of only a handful of the people there. On the first day of my confidence challenge, I plunked down with my sandwich in the staff break area. Within seconds, a sheepish guy with the wide eyes of someone fresh out of college sat down across from me. It was obviously his first week, if not his first day, judging by his comically oversized business shirt, which still had some of the original creases from the packaging. This was my opportunity. "I like your shirt," I mumbled, wishing I could swallow the words back with the bread. He immediately laughed. "Thanks, don't tell anyone, but my mom bought it for me. I'm never letting her do my shopping again," he replied, a smile spreading across his face. Suddenly, we were conversing. I learned his name was Zach, and he was indeed fresh out of college and new to the company. At the end of lunch, Zach stood up, and I suddenly noticed he was strikingly tall. I felt an urge to joke that he had to be a good person to make friends with because I could never reach things on the high shelves in the office kitchen. I stopped with it for fear of receiving a befuddled or insulted look. "See you around. I'll try and wear a shirt that fits next time," Zach said with a chuckle, heading back towards his desk.
This is the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service, a United Way partner agency. We broadcast from the campus of Fayetteville State University, and our signal is carried by WUNC Chapel Hill. As a nonprofit agency, we rely on public donations. We request your support to continue our services. When making charitable donations, please keep the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service in mind. Our post office box number is 35029, Fayetteville, North Carolina 28303. If you have any questions or comments, please call us at 910-672-1600 or our toll-free number 1-844-709-5656. Your radio hosts are
Robert Bean
and Beverly Simonette, and we are proud to serve you today. Blatant Park Rangers search for missing man. Jesse Segro, 23, of Fayetteville, was reported missing about 9 a.m. Saturday. An extensive search that includes drones, boats with sonar scanning, and helicopters is expected to continue today in Bladen County, where a Fayetteville man was reported missing from his campsite early Saturday morning. Jesse Scuro, 23, of Fayetteville, was reported missing about 9 a.m. Saturday, according to the State Division of Parks and Recreation. He was camping with a church group from Fayetteville at Singletary Lake State Park near Elizabethtown. Crews kicked off the search Saturday, worked through Sunday, and are expected to continue at 7 a.m. Monday. Personnel from Fayetteville Police and Fire are expected to join search efforts. The thing Sunday was we had a helicopter with infrared come in, and it did not see anything in the search, said Katie Hall, spokeswoman for the State Division of Parks and Recreation. The 1,221-acre park is located in Bladen County on North Carolina 53, 10 miles southeast of Elizabethtown and 6 miles east of White Lake. It is open only for reservation by groups of 20 or more for camping, retreats, and environmental education. Public access is restricted when groups have reserved the park. About 2:30 a.m. on Saturday, someone from the group noticed Segro did not return to his cabin. The group's leader was notified around 9 a.m., who then contacted park staff. Segro's canoe was found just before noon on Saturday. Segro had previously been seen in the canoe alone. Officials reported finding the canoe in an upright position. North Carolina State Parks is leading the search, which includes more than 15 local agencies comprised of a K-9 search team, helicopters, boats, and sonar capabilities, all-terrain vehicles, drones, and people on foot. There's really just an incredible team effort with so many agencies coming together to help out so quickly, said Katie Hall, spokeswoman for the state parks. It's really just a testament to the strong community bond in this area of the state. Hall said the search has been tricky because there is a lot of soft ground and much of the search is being conducted in the waterways. Segro is described as a 5'6" tall man and about 125 pounds. He was last seen wearing a white sweater with a gray chevron pattern, khaki pants, and burgundy New Balance shoes. Anyone with information is asked to call Bladen County Emergency Services at 910-862-6760. Staff writer Amanda Dolasinski can be reached at adolasinski@fayobserver.com, 486-3528.
Nashville is finally paying attention to Ashley McBryde by Emily Yard, The Washington Post. It's always hard to name an album, but there could not possibly be a more fitting tongue-in-cheek title for Ashley McBryde's debut major label album, Girl Going Nowhere. The name comes from the first track, Girl Going Nowhere, inspired by McBryde's high school teacher in Arkansas, who scoffed at her dreams of being a singer-songwriter. Then, this past year, after more than a decade of rejection in Nashville and struggling to get people to hear her independently released songs, she's become one of country music's most promising breakout stars. I was kind of always the underdog, McBryde, 34, said recently in an interview. Now that she's had some success, she figures she may as well lean into her less than auspicious beginnings. Here's a record by a girl who was never going to make a record. Even now, after she's garnered widespread industry support, with stars from Garth Brooks to Miranda Lambert proclaiming their fandom, playing Girl Going Nowhere, co-written with Jeremy Busey, live can make her cry. Don't waste your life behind that guitar, you may get gone, but you won't get far, the haters tell her in the first verse. But by the chorus, she's scoring them. I hear the crowd, I look around, and I can't find an empty chair. Not bad for a girl going nowhere. McBryde, who has earned much critical acclaim with her gritty, rock-tinged country music and vivid, cutting lyrics, had her first mainstream boost last spring. After years of playing small bars and clubs, sometimes just to get gas money, she signed with the same Nashville manager who represents Eric Church. In April, Church asked the manager to invite McBryde to his arena tour stop in Chicago. McBryde thought she was just going to watch the show until she showed up. The Church's assistant told her, "Hey, I don't want you to panic, but Eric wants you to sing tonight." And as she soon discovered, Church wanted them to duet on one of her songs, Bible and a 44. At first, McBryde did panic. She had never sang in front of that many people and didn't even know how to work the in-ear monitors to hear herself on stage. The actual performance was a blur. McBryde refers to it as trial by fire, but She called church's introduction before she walked out. There's a young lady here who I have become a massive fan of, and you guys are going to be a massive fan of her real soon. She's just starting this journey of a career, and she's unquestionably my favorite artist out right now that's not out yet. She's a whiskey-drinking, that's what she is. The YouTube video of their performance made the rounds and now has nearly 700,000 views. I don't want people to say Eric took you under his wing and that's why you're successful, because the songs stand on their own or they don't, McBride said. But that was such valuable and priceless experience. Things happened quickly after that. In May, satellite radios, Sirius XM, the highway started playing McBride's A Little Dive Bar and De La Nega, co-written with Nicolette Hayford and Jesse Rice, a searing ballad about getting through a very difficult time. Or as the chorus puts it, making the best of a worst day kind of night. It hit a nerve with listeners. One woman sent McBride a message and said the song saved her life because it stopped her from taking a phone call from an abusive ex. Soon it was one of the most popular songs on station. In June, McBride made her Grand Ole Opry debut. By August, after a bidding war among major labels, McBride signed with Warner Music Nashville. Her album mixes the heartfelt, including Tired of Being Happy, a track about friendship titled Andy, I Can't Live Without You, and explorations of rural life as Living Next to Leroy looks at drug use in a small town. Part of the groundswell reaction to McBride's music in Nashville is that it doesn't quite feel like anything on contemporary country radio, which needs some diversity. And McBride is well aware of the pressures that come with being a new female artist in country music, which routinely only has a handful of women on the charts. Little Dive Bar and De La Nega is currently in the mid-30s and climbing. It's not like we're angry, play us on the radio, it's more like, alright, let's open the game a little bit, McBride said, ticking off names of new artists who are starting to break through. I'm really hopeful and excited because there are so many women right now and they're all making really good music.
The Observer's editorial. Clark dispute is one more reason for redistricting reform. 2 years ago, the best political game in town was where in the world is Naveed Aziz. This year, the tables are turned on the instigators of that noisy distraction. The 2018 political game is where in the world is Ben Clark. Unlike 2 years ago, this year, we may get a definitive answer in dispute over a candidate's place of residence. On April 16th, a special panel created by the State Board of Elections will hear the evidence and decide whether State Senate Ben Clark still lives in the district he represents in Raleigh. It's a tale filled with twists and turns, and this year's story is proven tightly in the fabric of the state's long-running saga of extreme gerrymandering that has given the state a remarkable assortment of bizarre-shaped districts. Some of those districts, including Clark Senate District 21, were the target of the federal gerrymandering case. 2 years ago, a former Hope County commissioner questioned whether Naveed Aziz, the Spring Lake physician who was challenging Clark in the Democratic primary, actually lived in Senate District 21. The allegation was that she and her husband actually lived outside the district. Harnett County, not in the small Spring Lake residence she claimed as her legal address. The issue was never fully settled, and Aziz lost to Clark in the primary. Since then, District 21 has had several redrawings, including one provision that extended a narrow leg of district across Cumberland County to a home that Clark built in the eastern Cumberland County of Vander. Clark called it a second home, used occasionally, but the Vander location made for a considerably easier commute to the General Assembly and his wife's job in Raleigh, as well as quick hop to Clark's day job on Fort Bragg. Still, he insisted that his real residence was his family's longtime home in Hope County. Aziz is challenging Clark's again in this year's Democratic primary. And Spring Lake Alderman James O'Gallan filed a complaint in mid-March saying Clark's principal residence was really Vander home he had built. By that time, a court had rejected the General Assembly's latest effort in redrawing District 21, and the judges drew a new compact and simple district themselves, erasing the Clark Peninsula that attached Clark's Vander home to the district. That's no surprise. The narrow corridor drawn across Cumberland County was clearly a political favor for Clark and represented the worst of our state's long gerrymandering tradition. The state election board has picked Cumberland County Board of Election members Harvey Butch Rayner, a Democrat, and Jeff Long, a Republican, along with Hope County Board of Elections member Robert Vaughn, a Republican, to determine which address is Clark's legal residence. The hearing will be held at 5:30 p.m. on April 16th at the Cumberland County Board of Elections office in downtown Fayetteville. If the board concludes that Clark is a legal resident of Vander, it could spell at least a temporary conclusion to his political career and might well hand the district over to Aziz, who would face Republican candidate Timothy Lever in the general election, in a district that is heavily Democratic. But whichever way this latest where in the world drama goes, we'll feel even more certain that the redistricting reform is essential, probably more in North Carolina than many other states, and that we really need to take the gerrymandering pencil away from the politicians and hand all redistricting over to the nonpartisan commission.
Letters to the editor. The Booms of Freedom. Jane Holt of Fayetteville writes, in response to JG of Fayetteville in your March 20th live wire, Fayetteville doesn't have to endure big guns being blasted at Fort Bragg. Fayetteville only has to endure people who blast the work that goes on at Fort Bragg. We live next door to a military base. Their job is to keep America safe and our homes from cracking under enemy fire. That statement isn't far-fetched given the threats we face worldwide. I was born and raised in Fayetteville. Those booms are booms of freedom. Cracks in our homes are badges of honor we wear proudly. We live close to one of the largest military bases in America. I salute the men and women who boom away for our freedom. God bless America, and God bless our men and women of the armed services.
"911 dispatchers to receive recognition." John Coles. Cumberland County Emergency Services will focus on 911 dispatchers during National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week, which is observed this week. Emergency Services Director Randy Beeman said the department will honor the county's 911 telecommunicators this week with recognition awards and meals provided by the Fire Chiefs Association. The 911 telecommunicator is the first voice of reason on what may be the worst day of a person's life, Beeman said. They are such an important asset in helping our citizens in a time of need, and we want to make sure we encourage, support, and recognize them during National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week. The Cumberland County 911 Communications Center has 40 employees and handles more than 19,000 medical dispatch calls annually. Should you need to call 911, there are things you can do to help the emergency responders best assist you. You can help by knowing your location as accurately as possible. Try to stay calm and let the 911 telecommunicator guide you through the call. Remember, the questions asked are necessary to get you the right help as quickly as possible. Be prompt and brief in your answers. Learn more by watching a short video about 911 call etiquette on the county's YouTube page at youtube.com/user/Cumberland County NC. The 911 Communicators Center handles calls for the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office, Hope Mills, and Spring Lake Police and Fire Departments, Cumberland County EMS, and all Cumberland County Fire Departments. In 2017, the center received more than 220,000 emergency and administrative calls. Cumberland Alerts. Take another step to be better prepared in the event of an emergency by signing up for Cumberland Alerts. The county's emergency alert system receives notifications of severe weather by phone, text, or email. It's free and easy to sign up. Just go to the county's homepage at www.co.cumberland.nc.us and click on the Cumberland Alerts icon at the top corner or bottom of the page. Cumberland Update. Tuesday, Rabies Clinic from 4 to 6 p.m. at Warrenwood Elementary School, located at 4618 Rose Hill Road, and at Alderman Road Elementary School, located at 2860 Alderman Road. The cost is $10 per animal. On Thursday, Rabies Clinic is from 4 to 6 p.m. at Benjamin Martin Elementary School. That's at 430 North Raleigh Road, and at Clear Path Recycling, formerly Monsanto parking lot, located at 3468 Cedar Creek Road. The cost is $10 per animal. On Saturday, Holocaust Survivor Question and Answer Session is at 1 p.m. at the Bordeaux Library, located at 3711 Village Drive. Abe Pisak will discuss and take questions concerning his personal experience in 4 concentration camps during World War II. On Saturday, Master Gardener Spring Plant Sale is at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Cumberland County Agriculture Center, located at 301 East Mountain Drive. Locally grown plants will be on sale, and master gardeners will be on hand to answer gardening questions. Payment by cash, check, and major credit cards is accepted. John Souls is the Public Information Specialist for Cumberland County Government. You can reach him at 910-321-6579 or jsouls at co.cumberland.nc.us.
Like Lincoln, King belongs to the ages by Jonah Goldberg. One of the best things about the passage of historical time is how the partisanship of a given moment melts away. If you've seen the musical Hamilton or paid attention to civics class, you know that long before George Washington left office, the Founding Fathers were bitterly divided into rival partisan camps, now largely forgotten. There are many reasons why time wears away the hard edges of partisanship. Nostalgia alone carries a significant chunk of the load. Also, while hindsight is never really 20/20, if it were, we'd never argue about the past. The passage of time allows us to see how once polarizing figures fit in grander narratives. That is what Edwin Stanton meant when he proclaimed upon Abraham Lincoln's death, "Now he belongs to the ages." This week marked the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., and there is no modern figure who more richly deserves to be placed at the heart of the American story. When King died in 1968, he was not the central figure in American politics he had been when he led the March on Washington in 1963. The victories he helped secure with the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voting Rights Act had sapped some of his political relevance, which is why he switched gears to issues of economic justice. the rise of black nationalism and the headline-grabbing style of would-be revolutionaries such as Stokely Carmichael and Malcolm X had made King seem a bit of a relic. As so often happens, it was King's tragically premature death that reminded so many of his historical stature. But even then, the riots and chaos of 1968 were not the ideal climate for sober appreciation of his contribution. And if you can forgive a bit of partisanship, the way some of his heirs, literally the King family and figuratively Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton et al., tried to claim a monopoly on his legacy, made that appreciation more difficult as well. King's views on economics and American foreign policy were also too bound up in his persona for some conservatives to forget or forgive. More importantly, the generation of conservatives, though not necessarily Republicans who disproportionately voted for the Civil Rights Act, who wrongly opposed the civil rights movement either out of misguided constitutionalism or simply out of archaic racism, needed to die off before King's contribution could be better appreciated across party lines. So what was King's contribution? Simply this: he forced America to fulfill its own best self. King was not demonizing white America. He was appealing to its conscience, asking his fellow Americans to live up to the ideas that they claimed defined our best selves. Rhetoric, literary critic Wayne Booth said, is the art of probing what men believe they ought to believe. King's rhetoric did exactly that, which is why he, like Lincoln, not only belongs to the ages now, he belongs to every American. Jonah Goldberg's new book, The Suicide of the West, will be released on April 24th. You can write to him in care of this newspaper or by email at goldbergcolumn@gmail.com or via Twitter at JonahNRO.
We are a partner agency of United Way. We're asking for your help with our 8th annual golf tournament on April 12th, with either a whole sponsorship or for $100 or team participation. In an effort to support our mission and continued financial success, we will be hosting our 8th annual golf tournament on Saturday, April 12th at Gates Ford Golf and Country Club, starting at 11 a.m. Tee-off will be at 12 p.m. With your support of $100, come on, your sponsorship will include additional advertisement and whole signage. A corporate sponsorship of $300 will include all of the above, and 4 players will be eligible to play for free. Any donation is tax deductible. We are a charitable organization with federal tax exempt status, 501c3 FTID. Hashtag 58-1746684. If you have any further questions, please contact Valerie Woodard at 910-672-2013 or 797-2944. That's 797-2944. That's herself. Please spread the word to as many people as you can. We need your help. Thank you for your support of our listeners and volunteers. We had a rain out. We need your support. April 12th. See you there.
And Public Safety in Cumberland County arrests John Eugene Tyson, 35, of the 6200 block of Lake Bluff Place. Charged on Sunday when conversion bail was set at $5,000. Brandon Atlas Oxenine, 34, of the 3500 block of Sewell Street, was charged Sunday with 2 counts each of breaking and entering, 2 counts each of larceny after breaking and entering, and 2 counts each of possession of stolen goods. Bail was set at $60,000. Elena Barone, 38, of the 13,000 block of Southwest 139th Court in Miami, was charged Sunday with 2 counts each of conspiracy to obtain property under false pretense and misdemeanor soliciting prostitution. Bail was set at $7,500. And Glenn Lambert, 36, of the 1300 block of Southwest 139th Court in Miami was charged Sunday with 2 counts each of conspiracy to obtain property under false pretense, promoting prostitution, and misdemeanor impersonating a law enforcement officer. Bail was set at $10,000.
This is the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service, a United Way partner agency. We broadcast from the campus of Fayetteville State University, and our signal is carried by WUNC Chapel Hill. As a nonprofit agency, we rely on public donations. We request your support to continue our services. When making charitable donations, please keep the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service in mind. Our post office box number is 35029, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 28303. If you have any questions or comments, please call us at 910-672-1600 or our toll-free number 1-844-709-5656. Your radio hosts are
Robert Dean
and Beverlyn Simonette, and we are proud to serve you today. We have our obituaries at the 11 o'clock hour, death notices. The following deaths have been recorded. See upcoming editions of the Fayetteville Observer for complete obituary information. In Cumberland County, Dustin Russell Miller, 86 of Fayetteville, Jernigan Warren Funeral Home will be handling the services. Claudia M. Cotton, 69 of Linden, Hearing Funeral Care and Cremations will be handling the services. Betty Allen Matthews, 85 of Fayetteville, Rogers and Brees Funeral Home will be handling the services. Mary J. Hines of Fayetteville, Rogers and Brees will be handling the services. In the Cape Fear region, Ernestine Alfred Reagan, 47 of St. Paul's, Ellie Floyd Funeral Home and Cremations will be handling the services. Winifred H. Wingert, 87 of Laurinburg, Rogers and Brees Funeral Home will be handling the services. Funerals today. Moyne Leonard, 69 of Fayetteville. Funeral will be at 1 p.m. at Sullivan's Highland Funeral Service. Burial is at Lafayette Memorial Park. Services will be handled by Sullivan Highland Funeral Service and Cremations. Preston McMillan, 94 of Fayetteville. Service will be at 12 p.m. Wiseman Mortuary Chapel. Burial will be at Rockfish Memorial Park. Wiseman Mortuary will be handling the services. Patricia Pat Hare, 63 of Stedman. Services are at 1 p.m. Butler Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will be at Old Bluff Presbyterian Church Cemetery. Butler Funeral Home will be handling the services. That's Butler Funeral Home of Stedman. Hortense Jackson, 82 of Leesburg, Virginia. Service will be at 11 a.m. Graveside service, Lafayette Memorial Park. Sullivan Highland Funeral Service and Crematory of Fayetteville will be handling the services. Ronald Curtis, 38 of Rayford. The service will be at 3 p.m. at Simon Temple AME Zion Church. Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory will be handling the services. Ruby Gray, 95 of Hope Mills. The service will be at 7 p.m. at Pinecrest Funeral and Crematory will be handling Pinecrest Funeral and Cremation will be handling the services. Dolores Thompson, 71 of Fayetteville. The service will be at 2 p.m. in the chapel of Herring Funeral Care and Cremations. In the region and elsewhere, Mr. Earl Brown Hendricks, 85 of Rayford, passed away on April 7, 2018. Visitation will be held on Monday, April 9th from 6 to 8 at Crumpler Funeral Home in Rayford. Services will be held on Tuesday, April 10th at 11 at Rayford United Methodist Church with Reverend Brian Wingo officiating. Burial will be in Highland Biblical Gardens. Memorials may be made in lieu of flowers to Rayford United Methodist Church, located at 308 North Main Street, Rayford, North Carolina, 28376, or First Health Hospice at Palliative Care 150 Applecross Road, Pinehurst, North Carolina, 28374. Condolences may be made at crumplerfuneralhome.com. Timothy Ortiz Moralda, 84 of Laurinburg, formerly of Hamlet, died Saturday, April 7, 2018. Funeral will be graveside Tuesday at 3 p.m. at Oak Grove Cemetery. Visitation will be at Robert Bowles Funeral Service Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Robert Bowles Funeral Service will be handling the arrangements. Miss Shirley C. Walton, 65 of Elizabethtown, died Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. Funeral will be Tuesday at 11 a.m. at St. James Fire Baptist Holiness Church. Viewing will be at Johnson's Funeral Service on Monday from 2 to 5. Burial will be at Savannah Temple Cemetery in Clarkton. Johnson's Funeral Service will be handling the services. Dorothy Lou McNeil of Rayford died Tuesday, April 3rd. The funeral will be Tuesday at 2 p.m. at Temple of Christ Church, Bass Road in Rayford. Visitation will be at Dobie Funeral Home Monday from 2 to 6 p.m. Burial will be at Hope Community Cemetery. At Dobie Funeral Home will be handling the services.
Billy Graham, God's counsel can always be trusted when you're sincere. From the writings of the Reverend Billy Graham, S&B writes, I'm facing a major career decision. How can I know what God wants me to do? Maybe the devil will put wrong ideas into my mind and I'll end up going down the wrong road. The answer? Satan certainly will do everything he can to lead us astray. He is a master of deception. He may even try to persuade us that his voice is actually the voice of God. Sometimes the Bible says Satan transforms himself into an angel of light in order to deceive us. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14, New King James Version. Well, the Bible also tells us that the closer we are to Christ, the less hold the devil has on us, and the less we should be concerned about being led astray. Make sure of your commitment to Christ and His will for your life, and then pray earnestly about your decision and ask God to guide you. When we sincerely want to do God's will, He can be trusted to guide us. How will He do this? First, remember that God will never lead you to do anything that is contrary to what He has told us in the Bible. God also may guide you through circumstances, a door that unexpectedly closes or opens, for example. In addition, seek counsel from wise and godly people you can trust. The Bible says, in all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6. As a footnote, make sure you aren't seeking something that is wrong or selfish, but that you will be in a place that is good for your family, and you can live without compromising your integrity. Often think of Jeremiah's words of caution to his friend Barish. Should you then seek great things for yourself? Do not seek them. Jeremiah chapter 45, verse 5. And this comes from Tribune Content Agency.
Dear Abby, girl is tempted to choose a college close to home. Dear Abby, my daughter's graduated from high school and will be starting college. It was always her plan to go to a school far away from home, from our small town, and I supported that decision. However, 6 months ago, she started dating her first real boyfriend. His parents have offered to pay all expenses if the two of them live in an apartment and go to school at a college nearby. Financially, this would be very helpful for my daughter. But I'm worried that moving in with a boy at such a young age would be a mistake, and she wouldn't get the full college experience. Her boyfriend is wonderful, and she's very happy in